Today we have some important news for both home buyers and sellers, but mostly sellers in British Columbia. There's a new website that's going to be launching on July 18th, 2024, which is apparently designed to better protect renters from being evicted in bad faith. I'm Lisa Salt with RE/MAX Vernon Salt Fowler, and I believe this is a significant development for the real estate industry, so I wanted to take some time to talk about it. It affects real estate investors buying a property and also affects those real estate investors that are currently trying to sell their investment properties. And of course, it affects landlords and tenants not selling or buying either. So let's start by diving into the details and see how this may affect you. Now, the website's also designed to ensure that landlords who need to legitimately reclaim their units have to basically report it. The government will now monitor the evictions, as in when and how often these evictions are occurring. As a realtor, we see tenant evictions a lot. Someone sells their tenant-occupied property and the buyer wants to move in after they purchase. And then the tenant receives, at least as of today, receives 2 months' notice from the beginning of the next rental period. Plus, the tenant also receives 1 month's rent in lieu of moving expenses. Now, in fairness, not all of these evictions are on the up and up. Some landlords or buyers evict tenants claiming personal use only to re-rent the unit or rent the unit at a significantly higher price than it was rented at before. So that whole idea of this new portal is to stop these practices. Bearing in mind, the most a landlord can increase the rent anyways in a year, at least in 2024, is 3.5%. If utilities and other fees are included in the rent, like some are, and those costs have gone up with new carbon tax, etc., if those costs have gone up more than 3.5%, tough beans. Landlord cannot increase the rent beyond this amount. That is the law in BC at this time. Let's look at this new portal. As I said, starting July 18, 2024, landlords will be required to use the Landlord Use Web Portal to issue notices to end tenancy for personal occupancy or caretaker use. They must also include detailed information about who will be moving into the home. So much for privacy. For sellers and current landlords, it's important to be aware of the new requirements. Really important. It means that evicting tenants under false pretenses will carry significant penalties. However, it also means that Big Brother is watching your every move with your rental property. It also means some other stuff, because besides this whole requirement for entering your information into this government website, there's some other things. The notice period for landlords has now increased from that 2 months I just talked about to 4 months. I said 2 months earlier. As of January 18th, that's gone. Now it's 4 months. So if you sell a house now, say on July 12th, and give notice at the month end, July 31st, the new buyer cannot move into that house until December 1st. What? August, September, October, November, December 1st. So you sell in the summer and that new buyer cannot move in until the winter. Ouch. There's also an extended dispute time. Tenants now have 30 days to dispute the notice to end the tenancy, up from the current 15 days. There's also a minimum occupancy requirement. The person moving into the home must occupy it for at least 12 months. Now, if landlords are found to be evicting in bad faith, they could be ordered to pay the displaced tenants 12 months rent. 12 months. So there you have it. I guess it is what it is, but it does make it a bit more difficult for landlords to rent their homes. And I think we are ultimately going to find that they won't. Landlords will not be inclined to rent their properties long-term, not with these kind of restrictions. Investors will not be inclined to purchase rental properties because it's just too much hassle. And although the whole idea is to free up more housing for folks to rent, which I get that we need that, I absolutely get that, but I think the opposite will be true. People just won't make the decision to invest. They'll just put their money elsewhere instead of in real estate in BC. Now, as always, if you have any questions about how these changes might or are going to affect your buying or selling plans, or your landlord or tenancy plans, your investing plans, feel free to reach out to RE/MAX Vernon Salt Fowler. Thanks for watching.